Alright, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off because every single guru is selling you freaking BS. BS on how to go viral and how to gain traction. But most importantly, all they're doing is basically copying and pasting other individuals, literally having no personality, and then be able to sell them the same copy and paste template that they got from some other guru that basically sold them the same thing of a course and so forth. It is literally so oversaturated that it disgusts me at this point. And the problem is that you do have the information that's best going to get you to generating leads. However, there is so much noise that there's no flippin' framework. I run a marketing agency called Social Influence Studios, and I have been doing this for over 6 years now. And I grew my marketing agency to multi-six figures without running a single ad. And that was through organic because I cracked the framework of what is actually meant to make you gain traction while be able to be authentic and authority in actually speaking your damn truth. And most importantly than any of that, my team and I have worked behind the scenes with personal brands you already know, like Jay Shetty, Grant Cardone, and even Tony Robbins. Names you see on your feed every single day. And what I'm about to walk you through is the exact same framework to generate leads organically. And I showed the entire formula in my paid community. It's 3 days that I broke down the entire system. But now I'm giving it away completely for free. So let's get to the video, grab a notebook, grab some coffee. I got some coffee with me as well, and let's have fun with this. Let's go into the 3 different components of how to make sure that the algorithm favors what you do. And that is through offer. Then from there, it is your content. Then your content to your system. And it's kind of all bridged up together. All right. So your offer, content, and system. Those are the 3 components whenever it comes to turning someone who's watching your content, let's just say like little Miss Sally over here is consuming your social media content, like thinking like, oh wow, that person's like really cool. I really like this person. I'm talking about you. And we need to get them to obviously go to your offer, which your offer is this beautiful present. We like to say because your offer is a transformation. And we need to get them to obviously go into your offer. But here's the thing what most people miss. If you do not have this in place, then you're going to turn all of these people and they're going to fall off right over here. All right. And then if you do not have the content that's going to speak to the right viewers that are actually going to get to your offer, then they're going to fall out all through right here. All right. And then if you don't have the system to make it dumb simple for them to go to your offer, this is where they keep going further down. Now you are having in this stuck situation where you're like, I'm shadow banned. I can't do anything. Like, I'm just stuck in 200 view jail. There's nothing going on. Maybe my offer sucks. Maybe I'm not like an aesthetic. Maybe I need to use AI. You're thinking of all these outsourced things of why you're not getting to the leads that you want on social media. But in all reality, it's these 3 fundamental things that combine together to make it simple to turn these viewers into buyers. Now, there's an example that I kind of like to say with this because so a client of ours, Dom, he basically thought that he literally couldn't generate a single lead from social media. Like never thought about it. Was seriously like, I'm just posting it for the authority. I'm creating like all of the lifestyle content because that's what people do to build trust. And I'm sorry, like within lifestyle content, he was like, I honestly don't feel like myself. Like I don't even know who I am from online to who I am actually like in person because that they're completely 2 different individuals, but they're telling me I need to show my lifestyle to build credibility. And he was paying a lot. He was paying, I think, like 8K a month for just pretty posts with no conversions. And once we worked with him, I threw it out. I told him, I was like, dude, we're not going to do lifestyle. And I understand what his superpower was. I like understood what he was good at, what he can yap about for days. We formulated into specific scripts. We understand his viewers. We understand how to make his offer irresistible. And literally within 3 months, he was getting 50 booked calls a week. And we were like, ad spend, nothing. And it was just by that transition because we refined this, and we refined this that it made it so seamless where he literally was like astounded by it. Just the simplicity. And what we're going to go through today is basically the beautiful little offer. Okay. Here's what a shitty offer is really costing your business. All right. Listen to Kevin Hart. He's telling you no. You might say that you have a good offer. You're like, yeah, I did an offer. This guru guy told me, hey, do a irresistible offer, and then you basically never used it, and now it's in one of your Google Doc folders that you haven't touched, and it's collecting dust over time. So let's not do that. This is the reasons why how the offer is situated, why we need to make it a little bit more optimized, and how I'm going to help you do that. So the shitty offer and what it's really, don't listen to me, listen to Kevin Hart. What it's really costing your business is this like tier. It's like a ripple effect. So when you have a weak offer, then you have weak content. And when you have weak content, you have low watch time. And then when you have low landing page clicks, then you have low action, no bookings, no purchase, hard on sales calls, and hard in the DMs. And why do I say that with such confidence? Oh, because, yeah, you see, you don't want to be like him, all right? We don't want to be decreasing over time, all right? And this is where it happens, where businesses are always fluctuating up and down and not having that consistent growth. Here's the thing. I like to give an example of a different one. So the complicated guy over here, he's saying that he has a really good offer, and he's saying like, I help visionary founders systematize scalable digital marketing infrastructures. Okay, I'm not going to even say the rest. This guy right over here, he gave me his offer. He's just trying to give all of the fancy words so he seems like an authority. That's not true. Actually, you just lost clienteles because of that. 2 is the woman who I like to call who hasn't found her voice. All right? She says, I help women become the best version of themselves through mindset, alignment, and inner work. Beautiful, but here's the thing. You sound like everyone else. So these are not really great offers and in the ways of how this is positioned. So if this is something that may have resonated with you, this is something where we'll be able to optimize, because you have to realize nowadays is that attention spans are shrinking so much. All right. Not you, because you understand the name of social media. I'm wanting you to be a creator, not a consumer. That is my goal, especially with you. And I want you to like look at social media like a game. Like everything is a game. When you know how people consume, that is whenever you know and can attract the currency that comes with it. Intention is shrinking. Clarity is the new currency. So we need clarity in everything that you're building. All right. And this is where we're going to have the I need it now offer framework. All right. So this is where we'll dive deep and let's get started into the actual implementations of this all. How I like to view this is like a chain. All right. So there's a chain. There's 4 chains. All right. And within these, if one of them is not, it's broken, then all of them are going to break. It's not going to work. It's not going to be the ripple effect. And if another one is not working, then the offer is not going to be good. And with business owners that I see that work with me and I see time and time again, they have all of them that are not good. So we're kind of stuck in this whole situation because this is the reason why maybe they're feeling stuck and frustrated and why they're not at their goals, which is completely fine because we're going to fix on each and every step. So first one, write this down. Dream buyers. All right. So let me give you a bit of context whenever it comes to it, because we're not talking about, oh, okay, ideal clients, the demographics, where are they, ages from, blah, blah, blah. Because let me give you a perspective shift. An individual who came to me, who literally messaged me, says, like, honestly, in April, I almost shut down my business because I was so depressed. He grown a social media following. He literally had the views, the likes, the followers. He had this status. And let me give you this clarity, and let me tell you right now, you don't need followers to get clientele. This is why I created a whole brand new account to prove that wrong. And he was about to shut down his business when he was having over like hundreds of thousands of followers. It's because he attracted viewers, but not viewers who were willing to pay him. So I want you to get the misconception of needing more followers to realizing that you just need to make sure that what you're creating is for the dream buyers that are actually going to pay for your services and your offer. And that is where we're going to go through these different things for a dream buyer. Okay. So for a dream buyer, we like to go through these steps: identity, pain, and desire. That is what is needing for a dream buyer. Let me kind of show you how that kind of looks like. All right. Because I'm a very visual person. For myself, I like to see visuals. People can say things. I'm more of like, okay, show me a picture. Okay, we have stepping stairs. These are the stepping stairs going up over here. All right, I'm gonna kind of write down everything. So we're gonna call him Jim. We like Jim. He's a strong guy right over here. All right, we're getting into it. The masterpiece is coming. All right. So here is how I like to reference everything. All right. So the one for your dream buyers is the identity. All right. The identity is not in like where they're at, who they are, age range. It's how do they call themselves? So this identity could be like a CEO mom, or it could be a freelancer, or it could be a coach, consultant, or it can be agency owner. Who is from the dream buyers who actually purchase your product or services? Like, who are they? They could be family. They could be mother. Like, whichever. What do they identify themselves? All right. And so, with the identity, that is the first step to like understanding your dream buyer. All right. You might have multiple. This always happens all the time. Where like Bianca, well, I can help everyone. I know you can, which is great. However, like I say, a confused mind does not buy. So be crystal clear within your offer, stick to one, and readjust as needed. You want to be able to go through one path. Okay, that doesn't work, adjust to another path. All right. So this is where it comes to that situation. Oh, so with the identity, we can be able to go to here, list those down. All right. Then we go to the pain. What is the pain? Now, here's how I like to look at everything. All right. So the desire, let's say right here, here is the North Star, I like to call it. All right. The North Star is what your offer can be able to help them achieve to this North Star, like the pretty, oh my gosh, dream result type, like going on over here. However, as we all know, and we can have like full transparency when it comes to it, life is not linear. All right. Without darkness, there would be no light. Without suffering, there wouldn't be no gratitude. And if it was just one path to be able to reach success, everyone would do it. All right. But no, this is why you're here. You're actively learning. And this is why you win. Because the only way, and I'm telling you, the only way you cannot win is that if you stop. I'm being completely honest. Because you're here. And the only way that you cannot like succeed on this is just if you stop entirely. So get into the habit of the consistency when it comes to this. So there's pain here, and when they're trying to reach that desired goal, they're going to reach this pain, they're going to reach this pain, they're going to reach another pain, they're going to reach another pain. All right, so every stepping stone that they're trying to solve to get to the dream desire that you can obviously like achieve for them, they're going to have to go through this pain and this pain and this pain and this pain. All right, so how can you understand what is the pain that they go through? Look at the comments, look through the sales calls, ask your individuals, the clients who you work with, what was the pain that you had before? Do the market research to understand what was truly that pain. And also, when they're going through the steps of doing it by themselves, what is the pain and suffering that they're going to go and encounter? And then, of course, it's going to go to the desire. So the desire is over here. All right. So now that you have this understanding, the pain, the desire, the identity, and individuals are saying like with the identity, it could be a little bit more broad. Yes, the identity can be broad, but the pain and desire should not. So here's like, example. Because more importantly, like we were having this like difference with another like media agency. They were like, we don't know who we need to like pick, and we can help any individuals. We can help going into coaches, consultants. We can help agency owners as well, and so forth. And they didn't know how to say it because, of course, it comes with an identity. And I was like, all right, here's the thing. You can tell, and what are they offering? And I was like, what are you good at helping transform people? And they're like, well, we work really good with individuals that have low ticket offers because we can just scale it through with like ads. And I was like, awesome. So who you help is business owners with low ticket offers that struggle to generate leads and also views and get into consistent like leads every day. So it was going into the areas of they didn't say entirely of like we position as their offer if you are have a low ticket rather than if you are a consultant. So that's a way that you can kind of position it to make it different. So you're saying within what they offer, kind of something that is repetitive onto it. So that's with everything going on to here. So let's get the dream audience. That is everything for here. All right, let's go into the next step. With that same individual that was about to shut down, literally just said closed another one, 7K today. No hesitation. Because, like what happened to me last time, whenever I said, like, I had people that I had to convince, it's because when your offer is so damn good, you don't need to pitch it. You just need to invite people to it. So there's no hesitation when your offer, your content speaks for itself, and then the system to guide them to it, where it's like, hey, this is honestly a no brainer. I just tell me where I need to pay and let's go. That is what we're building. So going to the second one, all right, the promise. Now it's going into how can you make North Star right over here, the promise, really great. Now, here's what I kind of want to incentivize over here. Because I've worked with so many different businesses, because I've helped in understanding how the game works, do you need a promise? Which basically is like a guarantee. Can you, is it where you have to guarantee something in return to work with you? Well, it depends. As you know, that we're very much in a trust recession, all right? It's slowly going down. There's not enough trust anymore. People are pitching everything. There's a lot of individuals that are not really doing it the right way, and of course, it builds less trust for individuals. So, when it comes to creating a promise, it really comes to these three factors. If you do not have if you have low trust in the online space, you need to have a stronger promise. So let's say you're only targeting cold traffic. And with that cold traffic, you're going to have to create a stronger promise because people don't know who you are. So you may think that they do, but it's cold traffic. So you have to have a promise with it. For growing trust, so saying like, okay, you're building that trust over time, just have a clearer promise. All right. Just make it clear on what you're able to deliver. And if you have high trust, you're posting, you're on social media, like they can consume more content, then that's where you need minimal to no promise needed. That is obviously over time if you're just starting out, but that's where it can get to when you've built, like I say, the snowball effect of content because people post content and then they give up the next day, literally just realize it's a snowball effect. It's really keep posting without any like there's nothing, don't think of anything. Just post just to post for the consistent habits because then it just takes one thing to then it for it to expand and explode. I was about to say expand and explode all in one word. Expand. It's about to explain. Whenever it comes to it, how can we actually create one your buyers actually want? All right. So, first is going to be the outcome, all right, of creating a promise. All right. So, we're going to create you the ultimate promise. And I'm telling you, this is what helps so many businesses that we work with when we have this promise set in place because they're usually starting out with social media. Some do, some have been doing it. When we implement this promise, oh my, it goes crazy, which I love. So, the three things outcome, timeline, emotion. All right. So, with it, the outcome, what are they getting? The North Star over here, what is the thing that they want? The transformation, the win, the breakthrough. All right. What is that dream state? You can take it as like a travel creator talking about, do you want to travel the world and live in the Bahamas? That's kind of like the dream state. All right. But it can also be like if you're an accountant to have everything of your finances all in check. Like that's a dream state for me. I don't know. That's for me. But different things. What is that outcome that they're going to get? Examples can get your first 5 clients, launch your offer, feel confident again, fix your messaging, or grow your income online. Or is the timeline? How fast can they reasonably expect the results? So right here, let me show you over here. This is the reasons why they want to work with in your offer, because the thing is that the more that you can condense the pain that they have to go through in a specific amount of time, the easier they're going to pay. So, for the example, there's obviously we all know Uber, we love it. But before, whenever they didn't have this feature, there was actually a lot of churn and frustration. So, individuals, when they would get an Uber ride, before they didn't have this feature, they didn't know when the Uber driver was going to come. So, even whenever it was 10 to 15 minutes, people got frustrated and got out. But when they included the feature of having the time it's going to take, the duration for the Uber driver to come to them, people were more likely to wait 30 minutes to an hour longer because of that than waiting 15 minutes without knowing the time. And why is that? Is because you're giving them the control. People like to have certainty and control. And when you understand how people work, you can be able to give them that clarity. So, when it means on getting that control, you just set a specific timeline so you can achieve great body transformation in just like less than 6 months, or do this in 3 months, or in a week, 60 days. When you can be able to condense the transformation in a timeline, people are going to be more likely to wait and also be patient. Because there has been clients where it's like, I expect the quickest results in the entire world, like a week. And they're like, okay, where's the results? Hmm? That's also obviously where you need to implement the timeline. Because obviously, we're not doing a magic pill. We're basically have to make sure that we give them control on exactly, hey, here's the timeline to achieve X, Y, and Z results. Really important to implement the timeline. Examples: 30 days, 6 weeks, 90 days this month. Now it comes to the emotion. What will their life feel like? This is the part that most people skip, and it's the part that actually sells. So, this could be without burning out, without overthinking, without ads, without something, either without or while. So it's the emotional aspect that they're going through, and we can kind of say onto here, it's without having to go through this pain, without having to go through this pain, or with the supportment of, one-on-one coaching. You have to understand within what is the emotional aspect of what they're going to be going through. So without feeling disorganized with all of your bills piling up, so forth. You have to understand is that people buy through emotion, then they reason through logic. So when you can tap onto the emotional state of what happens on what they're going through in their journey, the better that you're able to help them and transform their life. Does this all make sense? What can you be able to do? What does your offer help with? You can say something that they don't need to deal with without stressing, without having to pay for, thousands of dollars on courses. Like what would you say if you had to think about what would be your emotion that you can help your ideal viewers with or without having? When you have the outcome and timeline and emotion set in place, that is your promise. Because when we did a cold traffic launch campaign in August, and we had at the end of August an 80% close rate with cold traffic, everyone. This offer was a 17K offer. And that was because of the ways and how we were positioning within the offer. What we said was a transformation without burning money on ads, without having to go on the viral hamster wheel. We really toyed on that emotional aspect of what people may think to what is actually not the case. So it could always be like common misconceptions of what is told that you need to do, but is not the case. All right. And then we're going to go to the third one, which is basically your named process. All right. The named process is going to be exactly your signature method. So everything that you're doing onto here, let's say that you condense this time frame from this time frame. And that is going to be, and I'm going to unshare my screen so you guys can see this. So from here to here is the first step, right? And then from here to here is going to be the second step. And then from here to over here, as you can see, is going to be the third step. All right. So why do we say a signature method? Now, signature method is so important because, like I'm saying, this is going to be utilized. What we're creating right here, make sure that we get everything down. What we're creating is all going to help on the content and the messaging for next class. So, the signature method is basically finding a unique method that is going to be distinguishedly as yours. So, rather than using a method that other individuals are saying, you are creating your own unique method through your experiences, through what you've learned, through what works, and basically coining it as your framework. The reasons for this, because psychologically, when you create your own method or ideology, people are going to feel this sense of, oh, wait, I haven't known about this. Is this a better, brighter way? So people are going to have this curiosity peak because it's a method that they're unaware of and they want to learn more. So when you coin a method that is distinctly yours, you are going to obviously position yourself as a higher authority and also differentiate yourself from your other competitors. Let's get a hell yes. All right. So whenever it comes to it, we want to be able to build the formula. Okay. So the great process of this all is, all right, we got to make sure that it is simple, repeatable, understandable. And I'll kind of tell you exactly within the grandma test a little bit later. All right. And so for that, this is where we're going to have that process. Obviously, take some time, after this to be able to figure out what that process is. Now, you might say you have so many different steps and you're like, Bianca, but I have X, Y, and Z and this and this and this and this and this and this. And it goes all the way. Like there's so much, there's just not 3 or 4 steps. That's okay. Like I said in the beginning of our chat that we're having here is think bigger. All right. Get bird's eye view of this all right? Don't get too much in the nitty-gritty because when you think of the bird's eye view of this, we can basically condense all of those little small different things that it takes to be able to achieve X, Y, and Z result and then condense it into a smaller method, all right? And so the method is basically it could be for more of a service, like saying especially if you're going to go into your like say if you're like a stylist and you do hair for a living, then more importantly how you would transition it is more of like your unique name for the transformation that you're able to provide. Obviously, you're not going to fill out the steps of being like step 1, step 2, step 3, but you can coin a method that is basically if you want to get this transformation, then this is basically the Angeline Jolie hair or the Tate McRae hair type of deal. So you're basically coining on the ways of the transformation that it's distinctly of yours. All right. And within naming the process, it could always just be anything from the method, the system, the blank framework, the blank blueprint, however it lights you up. Whatever says, like, this is it, I like this, I can stand by this will be great. All right. So this is going to be your process. Now, fourth one. All right. We are on the last link. This is everything of what we're going to be setting in place is the proof. All right. So the proof is now going to be putting everything all together. All right. As you know, we are still in a trust recession, but it's not a big deal. But we just have to understand how to play the game right. And so with this all, buyers don't believe words anymore. You can have all this fluff and, now that we have so much sales, I feel like my algorithm is a whole bunch of sales individuals, but there's just so many individuals just yapping and not really showing the proof and implementation. And so proof removes all the fear for that. So certain ways that you can be able to do it is through different things. Now, this could be a case study breakdown video where you're showcasing exactly the breakdown of how you've been able to transform your clients, success. Interview testimonial, be able to hop on a call with them and ask, hey, let's do a podcast interview. A client video testimonial, ask one of your clients, hey, could you be able to create a video for me? There can also be text testimonials, of course, your personal and data-driven screenshots, anything that you're showcasing that you can be able to do. And now, what proof do you already have? Now, if you come to the case, hey, Bianca, I don't have any proof, or I just don't, like, I have done a lot, I just didn't document it, that's okay. It's not a big deal because here's how we've been able to build that and help other business owners to be able to do that. So one, of course, for now on, ask for different videos, asked to be able to send a message and so forth. So We can make sure on that. Just promise that you'll be able to do that continuing forward. But also, too, is your personal transformation. All right. Like I say, stories are what's going to be able to sell. So when you can sell your own story within your own transformation, because that's probably why you do what you do, it's going to be way easier to be able to sell out of nothing. Okay. And then also, as well, is you can be able to do free work for exchange of a testimonial, a video, and so forth. Now that I'm thinking about hairstyling, I actually had somebody who basically reached out to me, said they wanted to do my hair completely for free if only they could be able to record it. Now, I didn't know this individual. She was just basically asking me. It was actually doing extensions. So that's like a long process. I literally said, hell yes, sign me up. Where do I need to go? Because I didn't have to pay anything. So I went over there and I got the whole hair done. It was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. And now every time that I get my hair, I always go to her. And she also got a video from me, and she also got a testimonial from me. And I also reposted that video on my account. And then I also created a picture and I tagged her with like my 80,000 followers on my personal account. So I'm telling you, it compounds. Doing free work is not always a bad thing because that's going to compound and accumulate over time. And just from that situation itself, she is now have herself a long-term client. I am literally always there. I only ask for her and only her because now I trust her with my hair. And then also, as well, she now got different things that she'd be able to post on her social media. And now let's go into the grand finale of it all. Let's build your offer all together. This is where we're going to finally build everything that we just had mentioned and broken down. All right. So it's the I help person, which is the identity right over here. Get the promise in the specific time without frustration. So without pain, without this, through the process name. So this could be through your method that you created. All right. So now we got it all. I help person get promise in timeline without frustration through process name. And screenshot it, write it down. I'll give you guys a second. This is super important. I want you guys just like, you're not going to have the full answer as of right now, but get this going. And more importantly, like I always say, individuals have asked me and they reached out saying how I could be able to help them and be able to grow them further. Now, here's the thing. I'm doing it for just a application only, because here's the thing, I only want to help individuals that I know that I can achieve the best results for. And like I say, your business is my business. I haven't done going back into helping individuals. I've only done fully done for you. And now I'm bringing it back. So this is the first one. So if you guys want to be interested and be considered in applying to working with myself, send a link below in the chat. And if you want this fully done for you to then have the clarity, perspective, and scale to the hundreds of leads a month, because what we do is we literally generate results in literally less than a month now, which is insane because we just keep on refining the system and process where it's like a plug and play to getting it. All right, plug and go. But other than that, like I say, I invite you. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm here to help. And I'll see you guys for next week's or next week, tomorrow's call. And if you have any further questions about with myself, working with myself, we'll answer that all on Friday. But tomorrow we'll get the messaging content. The third day is most important, is the system. So how to go from this individual right over here to getting them straight to your offer. Quick pause here as you're retaining all the information of the 3-day paid masterclass all into one video. Just wanted to make sure if you have any comments and questions about what we're currently going through, make sure to leave it down into the comments and I'll definitely get back to you because I love to be able to provide some further guidance when needed. And of course, love to stay connected as I want to see everyone win in the online space. So let's get back to the rest of the video. Make sure to grab some water, some coffee, and let's get down to work. So we're going to be going into how to build the content that makes people say, I need you. As you know, whenever it comes to everything as described, it's not that your content is the problem, it's the messaging. So this is where we're going to be able to break it down. And I'm telling you exactly this because one of our clients that actually I was mentoring this client, and her name was Donna. She was doing well online, but literally she couldn't even be able to sell. And just by one sentence in her messaging, she was able to close 15K in a week just by the shift of the messaging. So truly valuable, very important. But before I get started, I really want to kind of have a test with you guys, a little game. Now, which would you prefer? All right. Would you prefer something that gets 2.8 million views or something that gets to 2,000 or 3,000 views? The red one got 2.8 million views. However, what if I told you that that one generated 0 leads but got you 200 followers? And what if I told you that the one that got 3,000 views, and I kid you not, this is actually like living proof, got you 15 leads and 2 closed clients? Because that's where it comes to it, is that views don't equal demand, clarity does. All right. And it's exactly where I kind of go into this situation. It's like if you walked into a restaurant and the menu had 200 items and you feel overwhelmed, but if you had 5 items, you would feel confident on what to order. And the thing is that, like, let's take for example Cane's, Raising Cane's. Literally, they've built a multi-million dollar, probably way further than that, and are in multiple different locations. And it wasn't just because, like, they had simply chicken and they scaled through chicken. Because now every time you go to Raising Cane's, you're gonna get that chicken and you're also gonna get that good sauce. I actually had Raising Cane's like this past weekend. It never misses because it's the same. And so take into consideration your content is your menu. Clarity makes people hungry, confusion makes people scroll. And the more that you're trying to attract on every shiny little object that you see within content, the more that no one's going to actually understand. But be like Raising Cane's. Simplicity is always better. To be able to repeat yourself over and over again, you may think it's a lot, but it's actually not. Because here's the thing, people scroll and see so much content. They're not going to remember exactly what you said. We're not going straight into the content ideas because I want you to understand the fundamentals, the psychology of how content works, so then you can repeat it over and over again. And so this is where you're going to understand, how do viewers actually watch your content and how can you make them trickle down to, obviously, we're going to do this like how it was yesterday, your beautiful present that you have, because your present is your offer. And then we got all of these viewers that are willing to pay. They are all ready to pay for your offer because people love to buy. They just need a reason to buy. And so we break this down into different components. We have, I'd like to name this so you remember, tofu. And then we have mofu and bofu. Now, what does that mean? It means top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. I think we've all heard this before. With tofu, we have what we call the awareness. Then the next one is mofu, which is belief. Let me give you an example right over here. Okay, there's a fitness influencer, and this person says that carnivore is the best diet for you. All right. And then there's another fitness influencer that says that vegan is the best diet for you, to going vegan. All right. And then there's another one that says that intermittent fasting is going to be the best diet for you to be helping you lose weight. The ones who win within all these different is, can you be able to shift the belief of your viewers to seeing that carnivore or intermittent fasting is the best way for you? And the only ways who win on top, especially with all these different creators, there's so much noise going on to it, is only, can you be able to create content that shifts their belief that your way is the best way for them. Now, going into this, the last one where we're going through is the conversion. Top of the funnel is the awareness, middle of the funnel is belief shift, and bottom of the funnel is the conversion to, obviously, your pretty little present offer. Let's get this, let's break it down piece by piece. What is the awareness content? It's basically where you stop the scroll and grow the reach. Top of the funnel is not, here's how to fix it. It's, hey, do you realize this is happening? What that means is basically 2 things. You do want to be able to reach viewers, all right? It's definitely like you can think of it as like the viral concepts, like the ones that get the most engagement and so forth. And also, as well, is to be able to attract your ideal viewers by let's go let's go back to where we were is calling out the identity, those viewers that we mentioned from our last call, and calling them out and being able to create content that's going to engage them. All right. So this is going to be the more like viral, like trying to attract to get them to consume your content. And then it goes to the belief shift content, the middle of the funnel, the build trust, the shift mindset. It's the most, I'm going to tell you, this is the most important thing in your entire business. And you have to realize is that they don't trust your thinking, but they'll never trust your solution. So what that means is we created the stairs from yesterday talking about the offer. Now it's going from, and remember how each point was a pane. So it's a pane right here, pane right here. Then we're going to go through these panes. All right? Those panes that you created from yesterday, those are the content pieces to create, to talk about, because then you can shift their belief from those pains that, oh, wait, no, you can bypass that. There's a better solution. Or, wait, no, here's how to fix it easily in 3 steps. Oh, wait, oh, no, here's how we can do it completely for you, or like have an AI that does it for you quickly. It needs to be quick, fast, and simple. So all of these pains that they're going through, especially for the middle of the funnel content, which is the most important one, now you're creating content that's basically targeting on all those pains and then basically shifting their belief that no, this is why, as the stepping stone is going to your offer, that now you're creating content that's going to make them realize like, wow, this is the best way for me. Now going into the next one is going to be, of course, the conversion content. Make your offer so damn irresistible where it would be dumb enough, like dumb for people not to have it. All right. This is where your content becomes a mirror. All right. People see themselves in your clients and they see their future self. They see what's possible for them. It's like the it's I don't know why I still remember SpongeBob, even though whenever I like watched it as a kid, whenever he's just like saying, I need it, I need it. And that's exactly where it comes to your clients being like, I will drive 4 hours to go see this individual. I will pay however much to go see this individual because it is so valuable. And that's where you create the FOMO and you create really that easy picture of realizing that you're able to solve all of these different things for them, that it just all makes sense and it clicks. And then from remember last call when we talked about how proof is really important, this is where all of that proof that I mentioned on how to get that from yesterday, this is where it's going to just show like proof 1. You're going to have a second one. You're going to have a third one. You're going to have a fourth one, a fifth one. And that's where it becomes so damn irresistible that people are screaming and saying, I need your offer. And now I want you to take a screenshot of this and because this is going to get you a lot of clarity on who is exactly viewing your content. This is why whenever I look at a business owner's account, I know exactly what's wrong with it in the first 5 seconds just by looking at their account. And I also understand in what type of content that they're creating and who they're attracting. And now where people fall off is that they're creating so much unaware content. So that means that there's all these unaware viewers who don't know who you are. So you're creating a lot of the viral, you're creating a lot of the trending, and these people don't know who you are. So they view your content. That's the top of the funnel content. However, the thing is that that's just where they stay. They don't go anywhere else. And so when they don't go anywhere else, this is where you just look like a cool guy with a cool 6-pack. Who knows? You know, if you're in fitness and if you only created the one that are viral, then you're just known as that cool guy. And so when you go into the stages of, okay, he's an unaware viewer, now we can go to how can I create problem aware viewer? So this is where you're going to create all that pain, give them the solution. And then when you go to solution aware viewers, you are giving them solutions and you are basically helping them solve X, Y, and Z results. Then from there, we go to product aware. So product aware just meaning as how your product fits in with them, with their identity, with their desire, their North Star, their, pain that they're going through, and how your product solves that. And then most aware is basically like, that I sell this, that I offer this, but now it's just making it undeniable that you work with me and saying yes. And that's where it comes to the proof content. This is where I like to, always say, okay, what is the balance? So with this, I always say that top of the funnel content right over here should only contain 20%. And middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel contains 80%. So now once you realize on what's the type of content to create, you're understanding the viewers, all right? Top of the funnel is unaware individuals. They don't know who you are. Middle of the funnel content, this is where you shift their belief. That is from problem aware viewers to solution aware viewers. And then the bottom of the funnel is basically the conversions. You're like, all right, just send it over. And that's the individuals who are already product aware viewers and then most aware viewers to be able to go into your pretty offer. The top of the funnel, I like to make it very simple. Top of the funnel basically fills the room. All right. You're just getting the viewers to come in. All right. Middle of the funnel makes them listen. And then bottom of the funnel makes them buy. And then Pedro is looking very happy. He's like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. If they trust your thinking, they're going to be able to trust your solution too. All right. And I always like to kind of say this in the 3 C's of messaging is that 1, clarity, say what you mean, contrast, show what makes you different, and context, help them understand why it matters. And also, as well, I said you. Because this is truly important because we have to understand this. Should I be able to run a business without my face or with my face? Should I be behind the brand? Should I not? But I want you to ask you this question. I want to play a little game right over here. All right. Now, who runs this brand? It's Alex Hormozi. But we know who Alex Hormozi is. And this is an individual that runs and scales multiple businesses. Who runs this brand? House of 99. David Beckham. And I know the guys really love David Beckham. I'm not really sure. But David Beckham runs House of 99. All right. And I did it for the guys. Who runs this brand? TB12 Sports is Tom Brady. And you have to realize who runs this brand. Shield Co. It's random. I actually created that with AI. And hopefully you can get the gist whenever I said this is that no one cares about the brand. They care about the person who runs the brand. And that is exactly you. You run the brand. And so your influence determines your income. And the reasons why those individuals are so successful and that they can create any brands because they became their own brand. All right. And it's so important that you are the face of your brand because no one can ever take your story, your messaging, no one can ever create the impact that you've done. And the thing is that as we said from last call, is that people buy through trust. All right. And if they're able to have some commonality with you, they're going to have further trust with you. So if you have hesitated about having yourself in the front of your own brand, this is why even on my account, my business account, Social Influence Studios, my face is what's on there. It's not my logo. People don't even know my logo. And that's just because is that people don't follow for the brand, they follow for who runs the brand. All right. So now we understand how viewers watch. Let's make content that makes them obsessed. All right. And with this, we're going to finally break down on the fundamentals of the different content. Now, giving you some clarity, our team together goes through around 1,000 videos every 2 weeks. So, our whole internal team, as you know, we do done for you content for some of our clients. And the thing is what we do is we analyze different content. We're always seeing what's on trend, and as you know, trends come and go, but also we understand on what creates impact and what also gets traction. The triangle is everything that is needed for you to create content. These are the three styles of content that you need to create success. Because also, as well, my promise was I don't want to keep creating content. Like, here's the thing, if I didn't make money on content, I wouldn't be doing it. My goal was not to always be posting content and always putting more, more, more. I wanted to find a solution on what's the right content and how can I do it as little as possible with creating content that's going to be impactful. And these were the three styles of content I've seen time and time again that kept working and getting your ideal viewers to want to buy from you. All right, so embodiment content, what is it? It's practice what you preach. I can't tell you time and time again on the amount of things that I see within this. Embodiment content, like even for marketing agencies, it astounds me on individuals telling and running and giving marketing advice if they haven't even done it themselves and they don't even generate leads on social media. And how are you going to generate leads for other businesses? It's something that, and it's definitely the same way of if a someone was getting you fitness advice but they're not at the shape that you are desiring. So practice what you preach and actually put into where they can know you more, your story, your impact, the transformations you've been able to create. That is what builds trust through the emotional aspect. Then we have going on over here is the authority, proof you understand it, the belief shift. This is everything of going that this is why you should listen to me. Honestly, this is the proof shift. This is everything going from, if you did debunking industry trends, if you put your take on things that have been going on, things that maybe you're reacting to a viral video and you're giving your take on how maybe that's not correct or I agree with it. Or in the ways of if you're doing this, stop right now as I need to tell you exactly how to do it correctly. And then we go to the high value content. The reasons why I say high value content is that you want to give them wow content, not how. So that means is that you're not just giving them one step, two step, three step, but in a way that actually makes sense. It's simple, quick, and fast, where it's like, I didn't see it that way, but thank you so much for teaching me that way. Because as you know, information is abundant. Anyone can just go on ChatGPT, use AI, and then be able to spit out on what's the 3 steps to make you go viral. That's obviously it's not great advice, but it's a repetitive task. So the only reason why how high value content for yourself can be so transformative is because it's your story, the transformations you've created, your experiences, and basically giving them the value that you've created an impact and that you've learned or that you've seen time and time again, and you're providing that. All right. So, this is where it goes into the wow content. Obviously, it's not wow, like this is amazing, this is viral. It's wow, I didn't see it that way. And wow, I have clarity. Or wow, this all makes sense. So we have the high value content, which is basically here's the breakdown. Here's the steps 1, 2, 3. We did the direct call to action content. That's basically going into just pitching within her offer. The embodiment content, we did a podcast style where she was basically telling her story and making something relatable. And then we did the authority content, which is basically saying, hey, here's why these type of homes are not good to buy. Like people think that these homes are the best homes to get, but it's so not true. And here is why. Because the more that she doesn't like, you have to realize within authority content, the more that you are able to switch people's thoughts, but also saying, like, here's why this is wrong and this is right, people are going to have more respect towards you because you're real, you're raw, you don't agree with everything. and they build this bigger trust with you. Now, if we were talking about scripting, scripting is a whole other area. I could spend hours and days talking about just the scripting for it. But here's the thing, this is where our team actually is one of the few agencies that create a full AI bots for our clients. So we literally create AI bots that speak like them and actually create content that is going to be going through these fundamental aspects and creating more strategic content for them. We also, for those 1,000 videos that we go through all the time, we get the transcripts and we make templates. And as well, we also have this scripting principle framework. So, exactly what to say, how to say it. And this is all within my cohort. This is where you can be able to get access to this. So, we talked about the messaging, we talked about the content, and this is where I want to show you one way clear messaging turns into real clients fast, because we basically broke down the bird's eye view of exactly how everything looks like with content. All right. We're not picking on the little small pieces. We're literally just saying, how does viewers actually consume content? How can I see everything on what actually turns it into emotional belief where they want to buy through the social media content that you're creating? So, with this, I'm going to be telling you exactly the framework of how to make the next 10K in 10 minutes utilizing this framework. So, this has actually changed individuals. They will literally close 2 to 4 high ticket clients in just 10 days by utilizing this framework. Step one, I want you to be able to start the conversation. And what I mean by this is that you have people who follow you. All right. And the thing is they know who you are. They know exactly, they see your content. Or this could be, definitely somebody who's in your contact. It's people that you have in your phone, in your social media. People don't like to be sold to, but they like to buy. All right? Always remember that. So what we do is basically I want you to go through your DMs and I want you to message individuals this text message right over here. And obviously reword it into the ways of how we had your I help statement from yesterday. Say, hey, I'm thinking about putting something together that helps dream clients go from current struggle to dream results in time frame without thing they hate. Would that actually be helpful or not? Or not? Why does this work? All right. We've done this time and time again. And actually, um, this is how negotiators, the most successful billionaires and millionaires, make the best negotiation. Because if I told you, and I'm telling you the psychology of why this works, if I told you, hey, this is what you need to do and you should do this, you're going to be like, I don't know if I need that. But if I told you that, hey, most business owners in your industry are able to pull 100 qualified leads in just a matter of month by using short form content, and they've been seeing tremendous results time and time again. Do you want to hear more about it? You're going to be like, oh, wow, this is what's working in my industry. Hell yeah, I want to hear about it. So, this is where you're going to be able to message. I want you to send 20 DMs to individuals in your social media and send them this. Just being like, I would love to hear your thoughts on if this is good. You're going to let them talk, all right? They're going to be like, yeah, I think that would be super helpful for them. I think that's going to be great. And you're just going to let them chat about what their opinion is, all right? Then from there, it's going to go from how are you currently solving that big problem? And then you're going to basically do 1 or 2 follow ups, hear them out, listen more than you talking. All right. You're not pitching, you're hearing them out. Oh, how would you see it this way? Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. So you think the biggest problem is actually not able to create consistent content. Oh, how are you able to create like consistent content? Then they would say, well, actually, I'm struggling myself, And then that's where you go into basically wanting to hear more about those problems and then giving them the desired solution that you created on your I help statement. And then that's where you say you make the invite. All right. Only after a yes. Like saying like well, would you actually want help with this yourself? So they're basically saying, "Well, yeah, actually I'm currently struggling with trying to post content constantly." And be like, "Well, would you actually want help yourself?" And be like, "Yeah, like I really would. It would help me so much." Be like, then you invite them. Like I say, we're not doing a hard close. We invite people because our offer is so irresistible from what we created yesterday that it's a no-brainer that they want to work with you. So this is where you say, I actually help people with exactly this. If you want some help with it, and you can say, cool, want to hop on a quick call. And just by messaging this, and I have to tell you, if you're afraid to be able to message individuals, always know that there's a billion people in this world. Having a no is just going to be the thing that you do in life. You're going to have rejections. When you like don't accept rejections, you're not going to be able to scale your business. So it's really coming into like take no's as like cool. That's feedback. All right, cool. Don't say it this way. All right, cool. He said no. Okay, cool. I had people tell me to go fuck off, but I'm just more of like, all right, awesome. I'm taking that as feedback. Maybe I shouldn't do that route. Shouldn't do that route. But it's always repetition. Like I say, consistency is what's going to scale. And the only way for you not to actually be successful in this is basically stopping overall. And then why this works is basically because of the messaging and content that we created. When it comes to all of this, these are basically the fundamentals for everything. All right. And I want you to screenshot this. This is going to be your 10K in 10 minutes checklist. This is what we've built out from yesterday. And I also want to make sure that you are able to do this for today and setting everything up for tomorrow. So we talked about the dream client, we talk about the big specific results, we talked about the time frame. And if you don't remember this from last call, let's make sure that you get this so you can catch up. The old way that they're sick of, big problems blocking them. And then I want you to be able to send out the initial messaging post. Be able to DM, 3 to 5, go back and forth, try to get 3 to 5 individuals that you're going back and forth with, and then do an invite only after they say yes, book a call, go deep on the pain, and make the offer. Because of all the pain of the things that you guys got in from last call with the stairs and going up, all those different pains, those are the areas that you can ask them, all right, what if you don't take this action? Okay, what would happen if you stay this way? So those are going to be the areas that I want you to remember to get the checklist, screenshot it.
Hey, quick pause. If you're watching this and something's already clicking through this, or we're having a good time because we gotta have fun while doing this, you finally see why your content hasn't been working and how this implementation is going to be able to get you to that consistent lead flow. I want to give you 2 ways to take this further depending on where you're actually at. So if you're already running established-based business and revenue's already coming in and you got the team, you've got the work, but content is the thing that is eating your time and you know it. That's exactly what my agency does. We run the entire inbound lead generation system for you. We do everything from strategy, execution, and optimization. So you have a dedicated team specialized in their craft working on either authority, lead generation, and trust through your buyer's journey, so it's undeniable through your sales calls. So you stay focused on the actual business. Link to book a call is in the description. You'll have the whole entire framework of what we do, game plan, testimonials, what we've done, all the etc. Just click the link and you can view it from there. If you want more of a guidance where I'm breaking it down fully, step by step, showing you the walkthrough through a recording, then you can be able to join the Social Influence Academy. This is for individuals who just want a little bit of guidance and how to do it into the back end. They want a little bit further structure while they can still execute on their own. So that link's also in the description. Regardless, consistency beats perfection and you're doing great so far. So let's get back to the rest of the video.
We worked on the messaging, all right? And this is everything that we're going to be going through. We're going to work on the organic. I'm going to show you, and then we already did the signature offer. And then from there, we're going to work on paid ads, lead magnets, DM system, and nurture loop. Because here's the thing. The reasons why we have all these three components, and we've already done this on day one. We did this on day one, and then we did this on day two. And then this is where the other ones that we're going to be learning further on. Okay. But why was this important? Why is any of this important? The messaging is super important because it's what are you saying, exactly how you're going to transition into make them realizing that your offer is irresistible. And that's why we created that. And then going to the organic and of going of who sees it. Here's the thing. The reasons why we combine paid and organic is because organic never goes away. That is like your portfolio, your resume. I don't even use my resume whatsoever. I remember I had to make a resume for college. Never use that thing. But the organic content is basically your resume. That is what can never go away. So that's why it's so important to have that as well. The paid, we can go to signature offer, is where you convert. So the offer is where things convert. And it's super important because if this is not set in place, it's going to be very hard to convert unless you have a lot of authority online, as we talked about from the second day, that trust factor. Because the more that you have to promise on an offer, what we worked on day two, hopefully you guys remember, on day two is basically where are you at on the meter for trust. And so if you don't have that much trust online, you need to have a really good promise. If you have a lot of trust online, then you don't really need as much of a promise. You're just basically, I'll show you the formula. All right. And then from there, we go to paid. Definitely please write this down whenever it comes to it. I say pull in because here's the thing in organic, it goes to different areas. All right. We're not specifically getting the ideal buyers to come and see your offer. So the paid is like the perfect opportunity of getting into the right rooms. It's the perfect opportunity of the reasons why I was able to get into the right rooms with 8-figure business owners and agency owners. And so that's basically putting yourself in that room and putting money in so then you can be in the right rooms for the right people who are going to buy your offer. All right. And then going into the lead magnets. All right. So the lead magnets are who raises their hand. All right. And I love lead magnets so much. You can probably already look at my content already, and you can see every single caption that my team posts for me has a automation trigger. And we'll go through that as well. A lead magnet is basically who actually would be interested to learning more, because the ones who get the lead magnets are the ones who are trying to actively learn and grow in that certain area. All right. So they raise their hand. They're like, hey, I need that AI bot. Hey, I need social media, hooks. Hey, I need the formula for how to create a viral hook. Then from there, we go to the DM system. This is where who qualifies. You're going to have conversations into the DM. And no worries if this doesn't make sense, because I will literally show you a whole visual of this all and we'll break it down step by step. But I wanted to, of course, give you the bird's eye view of everything of what we're diving into. All right. So DM system is going to be everything of the qualifying. Because here's the thing, not everyone is meant to work with you. And that is okay. And the thing is that you are not, I want to give you certainty here. You don't need to work with everyone. And you can say no when it's not a right fit. Because here's the thing, your value to what you are providing, it doesn't matter about I really want to make this important when it comes to it, is that it is not what you should get paid for the time. That is not it. Because what if I told you, like, let's say right here. So what if you only got paid for your time? This client of yours, he's like, yeah, well, you're going to be helping me for like 4 hours every day, and then I'll just pay for your time. It doesn't work like that. And I'm telling you, it doesn't work for you, because I see you guys in the chat and what you guys are offering. So it doesn't work like that. All right. Because then this is going to slowly go into burnout. You're not getting paid for your worth. You're always having to go into begging for more, asking for more. And trust me, I used to charge $500, and now we're going into the areas of charging the minimum of 5.5K a month. And it's still everything works. Just because you charge higher doesn't mean that you're not going to get clients, because it's all who you target and, of course, the right viewers. So this is why the DMs is good to qualify or not qualify. You are getting paid for the value, the transformation, the time that you're shortening down by working with you, the effort that it takes to be able to do it by themselves. Does that make sense? Because here's the thing, what you're helping them, obviously, as we were talking about those staircases from the first day, is that you're basically this. If you try to do this yourself, if you try to grow your social media yourself and trying and, just keep on like posting content, you're like trying to figure it out. This took me 6 years. What I'm teaching you right now and everything that I learned took me 6 years. And so the reason that you get to charge in the ways that you do is because you're basically decreasing the effort amount to get to the results, the transformation. So the transformation is going to be completed to the individuals that you're working with, because you're going to decrease the time. So this is going to be shortened rather than 6 years. Basically, we do this and we're making it get them the good results in 3 months. And we're starting to get them traction in 1 month. I wish I had this 6 years ago, but I took the pain of learning the hard way because I'm a Hispanic, I am stubborn, and I'm like, I'm not giving up. I don't know if it comes to it. And also women too. I feel like I just, and men as well, but I feel like with women, we're like very much it's like, okay, if I set my mind to this, I am not giving up. So whenever it comes to this, you are helping them reach the transformation in least amount of time with minimal amount of effort, because I'm going to do it for you. And this is where you can be paying the higher ticket. And this is why I help on higher ticket and going into mid-ticket offers. All right? This is where you can transform to charging $5K than rather charging $500. It's exactly this. And it's all about the messaging. So the reasons why day one we focused on messaging and offer is because if you basically go on a sales call and you're like, so I'm going to post for you, I'm going to get 5 videos out, I'm going to also do your edits, I'm also going to do strategy. No one cares. And those are where you're going to get individuals who are paying you for your work and the time rather than paying you for the transformation. And this is why we have our client basically saying, hey, here's 10K. And this is one of our clients, Landon. He's like, hey, here's 10K. Make me have that transformation. Because all he wanted was lead gen and authority. And this is just like, that's minimum. But I'm telling you, clients will start to pay you in that way when you speak in words of this rather than words of deliverables. Here's the XYZ task of all the different things. No, you have to say your messaging like, here's the transformation. Here's the time that you're going to decrease by doing my program. Here is the effort that's going to decrease whenever you do my program. And our client, Landon, that's what he did. He trusts us because we built that trust online. And I'm telling you, this is the reasons why to keep posting for organic. Built that trust online. So he comes, he basically slaps it and he says, here, get me the results. And how I position it is that we're going to build your authority. We are going to increase the lead flow, that you're going to finally be able to get 100 plus leads in the first 3 months, or we work with you for free. Obviously, we do have the promise. And 3 is that you're going to build undeniable trust with your ideal buyers. And for him, that meant everything. He was like, I want people to know me, trust me, and like me before they even hop on the call. And I said, done, we'll make it happen. And that is what we did. The last one, which is basically the nurture loop. Okay? The nurture loop, because, people need a little bit more convincing. Like I say, we are in a trust recession. So they're not going to be instantly in a perfect world. People would just like see your content once and buy. Yes, that does happen because they're in a painful situation that they want to take action. But like I said, oblivious is the number one thing for chaos. They're oblivious. They don't know that they are in this pain. And that's why we create the content to nurture them and then to be able to let them know that if they don't take action now, aka work with you, that they're going to deal with consequences and they're not going to reach their future state. If you guys want to be able to like screenshot that and then get that going, if that makes sense, with my very pretty handwriting. Anyways. All right, we're going to put that to the side. So this is going to be the dual engine growth system. So we are breaking everything down and having the clarity for it all. I'm really excited. As you know, for the client system, this is going to be a combination of organic, paid, nurture, DM, and close. All right. And so what we went through on day one, we went through the signature offer. All right. And then I'm going to tell you why this is going to be good onto connecting everything together. Because like I said from the very beginning, I was like, I'm not here to give you fluff. Like I'm here to actually like, this is what keeps working time and time again. So we did the signature offer. What you should have is the clear transformation, the deliverables, the method, the process, the price, the promise. So this is where the entire system leads, all right? So everything and a little bit further of what we built on their signature offer. Then we have the messaging and content system. So we worked on this yesterday in day 2. We did tofu, mofu, and bofu. So the organic engine. Here is all the different areas that you're able to build your organic lead flow where you start getting clients in your sleep. So we have different verticals that we like to do. And of course, I'm going to break down each one so-and-so. Okay. So we have our content. This content, you're going to be creating content, and within the scripting principles of what we have, this is where we've been able to master on the ways of, all right, a lot of people company. And this is not even like our highest viewing content. We just understand because I don't care about likes. I don't care about views. I care about comments. And if the comments are more than the likes, or if it's even close to the likes, you're doing it right. I'm over here clapping for you. And so we have this way where we create, also we have these scripting principles for the captions. So we actually have a framework that we use that our team uses that work time and again. And this is where we say comments the keyword to get the full breakdown. All right. That is through ManyChat. If you don't have ManyChat, get ManyChat. ManyChat is free and it's also paid. I would recommend, because we're here to save you time, to get the paid version. It's $29. It is well worth it. The capabilities with free is that you have to manually, every time you post a content, you have to manually put that content to then make the automation trigger. So you're going to have to, every post, you're going to have to like add it on there. It's a big hassle. And I just recommend just paying the $29. I'd rather you get ManyChat than like Stan Store or like something like that. Completely better. So then from there, this is where it's going to go into that trigger where you accept it and they send you the link. And from there, I have to tell you the reasons why I love lead magnets. The reasons why, because there's going to be probably a guru that's going to say sending cold DMs is the way to go. All right. I've done cold DMs. So learn from my lessons. When you're sending cold DMs, especially if you don't have like a huge amount of followers, you can only send 50 cold DMs a day. 50. All right. So I would send 50 cold DMs a day. And I used to do that when I was starting from zero. And I used to do cold calling. I actually used to go into the businesses. I was actually going to the businesses, like their own location. And I was like, hey, do you guys need any help on social media? Really funny times. And I actually go to restaurants. I went to med spas. I did the hustle. So honestly, I don't do it that way. All right. It's awful. And so when you send those lead magnets, that makes it open where now Instagram says that, okay, they are a friend. So you can send unlimited messages to those individuals. And like I said from the very beginning, the lead magnets are important because those are people who raise their hand. Utilize lead magnets. All right. And what we do for these lead magnets, we put them into a landing page. All right. So we basically do is we create a landing page and everything is on Go High Level. This is definitely the best software to use. Great capabilities and everything. This is exactly what we can definitely help and teach you exactly how to use it for your best bet because our entire company is on Go High Level. And then from there, for them to be able to get the lead magnet, they have to fill out the form, and that is full name and email. The only reasons why we do that is because, like I said from the chat, is that you have to nurture them. Not everyone is in pain right now or taking action. So this is where they're going to come back and you're just nurturing them on who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. All right. And then this is where you can do DM to close. All right. There's two different options. What we have it is that we have some emails that go out to then have a link to book a call with us. But also as well, the DM to close works just as well. All right. So that's with content. Now, profile. The profile is just as important because we have everything that is going to be best for conversion. All right. So this is I took this like actually right now because it's definitely for the training that we did. We literally had this like launch. It's only been like, it was 4 days of just launching this. And whenever it comes to it, we have the DM call to action to the ManyChat. Very important to have it on your bio and also make it clear. And then from there, there's always things where they can consume more. So this is building trust, building trust. And then of course, about me is where you are able to find that emotional connection. Like I said, in the second day, if I said they said they're from Texas and I said, oh, no way, I've been born and raised in Texas, that is familiarity. People build trust by that. So if they can connect with you with one or two aspects or just anything at all, they will build and have that trust with you way further. Okay. And so from there, with that, we also get it sent to ManyChat whenever they comment Christmas or so forth. Get sent to ManyChat, and then from there, it goes accepted and so forth. But we have it where it goes directly to our landing page. All right. So we have a landing page that's built. We used to have it on Go High Level. Everything on Go High Level still works very well. Like Paris was saying in the very beginning, she started to become obsessed with Lovable, and I did too. Lovable is this AI landing page or website development. It's where you don't need any code. You don't need to know how to build websites. All you just have to do is prompt it. So it's basically ChatGPT for websites. So if you like a landing page and you want to replicate it, you can literally just screenshot it and then just ask Lovable, hey, make me something like this. It's very easy and user friendly. So the ways and how we get them to then book a call is we do a VSL landing page. All right. There's multiple different ways in how you can do it. VSL landing page is the most simple and easiest way to get somebody to book a call with you. All right. And the VSL landing page has worked time and time again. I know there's different areas that you can do within a webinar. You can do different varieties of like sending them to YouTube. VSL landing page just does very well. All right. And from there, this is where we do on the landing page is that we input a qualifying form. This form works for so many reasons, and it all has a strategy behind why we have a form. Because like I said in the beginning of this call is that people are not always qualified to work with you, and that is okay. And this is where you redirect them to another offer, and then you can still be able to help them. All right. And this is where we have this qualifying form because you rather dequalify people before they book a call than hop on a call with them, spend an hour and a half on the call convincing them, and then they basically, whenever you make the pitch, they say, oh, I can't afford that. Trust me, it has happened to me. So the reasons to have a form is so important because you qualify and disqualify them
before even hopping on a call. And then you know that they're a candidate that you can help them and they can afford, or that they are in who you help to be able to work with them. So it's truly important. And so this is all on Go High Level. All right. So Go High Level is still just as great. We do that for our clients. And then there's also Lovable. It's just a fun. If you want to make it fun, Lovable's good. But I would really just say Go High Level just keeps everything all in one place. And then after they fill out the qualifying form, that's where it gets redirected that if they qualify, then they hop on a call. All right. And then let's go. That is to the profile. All right. It's a direct pitch. So this is not where we're nurturing them, we're getting the viewers. This is basically just nurturing. And then from there on the profile, this is a direct pitch. All right. Then it goes to stories. I just screenshotted my story from yesterday. This is where it goes to, hey, if you want to learn more about so and so, DM me famous to then get the transformation. Stories are what converts. I'm telling you, if you're not utilizing stories, stories are very powerful. And so we have a DM framework that we use time and time again because we have a whole tracking system for DM conversations. Because here's the thing, you can make data-driven changes rather than assumptions. And it's really important, especially in our company. I always say that even when working with clients, I was like, we won't know until we get the data back. Because here's the thing, I can make the greatest assumption strategy ever. And we obviously have the system set in place, but it's what the audience likes and what your ideal viewers want, and then repeating that cycle. Okay. So I also wanted to implement onto this. It's like, okay, Bianca, well, this seems like a lot of work. I don't have time for this crap. And this is literally insane. I got you. Okay. So here's the thing. DM conversations are still very important to have. You need to be in the DMs to then be able to convert people. All right. Like I said, we're not in a perfect world, which it does happen where we have individuals that directly book a call, but sometimes people need to be heard and seen, because this is why I love having this more like intimate one-on-ones and being able to help, because it's like just to give you that clarity and that perspective is just, it's rewarding for me to be able to help in some aspect. But if you don't have time, I say, all right, if you have volume, saying people that are in your DMs asking you, if you do have volume of people messaging you, hire a setter. All right. I have setters, and how I basically pay them is nothing out of pocket. They get 5% of any close that my closer closes. So basically, the closer gets 10%, the setter gets 5%. You just do your thing and create content. All right. You just got to see what is the perceived value from the time that you're spending on the DMs. And you just have to make a executive decision on what would be best worth of your time. All right. And saying, okay, maybe I don't have volume. No, then you can use ManyChat automation. You build it out once, it basically redirects them. I would say, of course, you can probably understand as well. People want to feel seen and heard. They want to have conversations. They want to know that you're actually caring for them and not trying to, take their money. So it's like, you understand. All right. Build the conversations. It's all about building relationships at the end of the day. But if you don't have time, it's still possible. Just do ManyChat. All right. And then I like to say, book the call. Don't send the link. So you know how it goes straight from the VSL landing page from the ManyChat. But if you're having a conversation with them, we've seen it time and time again that when we direct them to book a call and they have to go through this landing page, the drop-off rate is crazy. So basically what I tell my setters to do is literally say, hey, does 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. work for you? Literally give them where it's like, hey, let's book the call. Give me your email and I'm going to book it for us. It makes a huge difference. I guess that extra step of them having to manually go in the landing page, book the call, the form, makes them, drop off. And also because they're not filling out the form, that's where the DM framework is so important, because it makes sure on are they qualified, going through the right questions, and you're not wasting your time whenever you hop on that call. All right. So this is the organic engine. So we got content, we got profile, we got stories. Does this all make sense? Okay. And no worries when it comes to this, this is where I'm here for to help break this down further and further. Now let's go into basically the lead magnets. All right. Because I was talking about lead magnets. This is the reasons why I love lead magnets. Because one, it opens the conversation. So when you send them a lead magnet, then you can message them as many times as you want in an increasing amount of volume. All right. So that's one of them. Two also is that with ManyChat, when you send lead magnets, it also does an automated reply back. So anyone who comments the keyword, you will reply back, which in case increases the views from this. The reasons why this got high views and the reasons why this got high views is because it had so many comments. And so it kept going where the comments made the video go viral because of that. But now this is where you're finally getting not just viewers, but you're getting people who raise their hand and saying, hey, I need this. That's more valuable because now you're getting the right viewers who actually need this rather than just getting viewers that's looking at your cool content. All right. And so whenever it comes to it, how can you be able to create a lead magnet? You just want to package a quick win your audience is already thinking about. Pick a micro result your audience wants. So their problem, your knowledge, and your solution. All right. So an example could be a sales closer always loses their prospects during the objection phase. So you create a lead magnet that says how you handle objections. It's like how to handle 10 of the most repetitive objections. And then you offer is like 10 objection killers that helped me close 100K in sales. That's desirable. Going back to over here, what we talked about from the very first day is that everyone has a pain, all right? That pain that you all broken down and that I told you was really important. This is where we're going back to it. So now these pain areas is also the content you create, but it's also the ways in how you can create lead magnets. So the content is basically saying, hey, if you're struggling with this pain, then here's the thing. I'm going to create, let's say that you're going to make it easier for them to step up with a lead magnet. All right. So now, hey, if you're going through this pain, I have compiled over 2 years worth of my knowledge and gave you the step by step to grow your social media account. Or I just looked at hundreds of content pieces and got the reasons of why it goes viral. Here is the framework to make your videos go viral. You give them the solution to those pains that they're struggling with. Oh, are you getting no views? Are you not going viral? Are you not getting traction? Well, here is a lead magnet to then be able to solve that solution. You grab their emails, you grab their name, then you're able to nurture them, and now you're positioned as the authority. All right. And of course, you might not know exactly, maybe you're like, okay, well, I don't know a lot of the pains that they are having. Okay, so that's where you collect data. Ask people in the DMs. Ask people in sales calls. Ask ChatGPT. We have a ChatGPT prompt that we use and we give to what we do for our clients, and also we've helped individuals for this is basically like doing market research but using AI. So there's multiple different varieties of how you can be able to do that. All right. So then from there we got the offer, and that's how you're going to be able to create your lead magnets. All right. So this is everything going into the organic side. Now let's go into the paid. All right. The paid is where we're going to get those viewers being like, hello, my ideal clients. This is exactly where we build this system time and time again. This is what people pay us thousands of dollars to implement this system. So let's go into it. All right. So when we go into the paid ads, we do a direct ad. All right. We keep it simple. We have different variations when it comes to it. So somebody gave me this example of the Hunger Games. Ads are like the Hunger Games because the thing is that you put money in and you see which one works. All right. And the reasons, if you get scared about putting money in, especially launching ads, here's the thing. If I told you that when you put $10 in, you get $20 in automatically, would you do it? And if that's yes, then that means that is exactly how ads work.
when done right, exactly like this. So the thing is that it is okay to put money in when you know that you're going to get money out. And this is why it's so important, because you're getting into those ideal viewers to actually buy from you. So don't be weary about ads. It literally transformed my business. And like Safe was saying yesterday, I was scared about ads as well. I never did it. I was only doing organic the whole entire time. And then once I did ads, things blew up for my business because I was finally just getting the right viewers and the right buyers. So, how we do it with the content, and like the Hunger Games, we have different individuals, all right? And these are going to be 3 different hooks. So, we do 3 different hook variations because the hook is so important. We do 2 different bodies and 1 call to action, all right? And we actually create 6 different content pieces just from 1 video. And for this reason is because we get to see who wins the games. All right. It might be hook number 1 to body number 1, but we have different variety to work with. And then we can double down on what works. All right. And then we do to everything is the VSL landing page. So it goes directly to the VSL landing page. We have a video sales letter. So everything that you worked on, your offer, your messaging, that is how you're going to create your video sales letter. So you basically talk about, hey, are you struggling with this? Here's the dream desires. Here's what we've been able to do for transformation of client X, Y, and Z. And then, hey, book the call. We'd love to be able to chat with you further. We have a whole framework for a video sales letter. And we use Vitalytics. It's basically a software that tracks on when people jump off. So, like I said, we're making data-driven decisions, not assumptions. And I'm telling you here, like I used to always be burning out and pulling my hair because I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if that like I'm trying all these different things and I was going insane. But when I finally just realized it's that I'm not making assumptions. I'm only speaking in what is the data, the clarity, and like just the relief that I had and how my business grew tremendously is because I stopped thinking about what if and started seeing on, okay, where's the numbers at? Not, oh, maybe this, maybe that. I was like, okay, what are the numbers? And then let's make adjustments. That is it. It's like a plug and play. All right. And the reasons what we do really good is we have the qualifying form, like I told you, the book a call. And then, of course, we do an email and SMS nurture. And this is going to be through Go High Level. And what no other agency does, and this is the reasons why we like closed 80% when it comes to it, especially even on a cold traffic, is that we actually create a mandatory video. So in that email and SMS, we tell them, hey, watch this mandatory video before hopping on a call with them. Why is that? When you're reaching cold traffic, they don't know who you are, what you do, and like they don't have this trust. So when we tell them to watch the mandatory video, it's basically giving them everything of like, hey, here's my story. Here's all of the crazy amount of results. Here's who we worked with, Jay Shetty. We've literally launched within Tony Robbins, one of his events. Like we've worked with some high level individuals. And then they're like, oh, okay. Like she knows her shit. So basically, this is the reasons why we have that mandatory video. I don't see any other agency that does it, and I do believe this is the reasons why it helped me close so many on the paid ads. All right, and then going into here, we have going our DM system. So of course we have our DMs that basically helps them turn into a viewer to a buyer. So of course having DMs conversations, this is basically where you're going to have further conversations. And like I said, we make data-driven results. We see how much we outreach, how many responses, how many scheduled, and definitely take a picture whenever it comes to it for how to have the DM conversations. And then we'll continue on to the last one. And the last one and most important is the nurturing and proof loop. All right. Like we talked about with the snowball effect, this is exactly in where you have to keep on nurturing. And how you nurture is through your stories, your story highlights, content, YouTube. YouTube is so important. You know, it's definitely something where we have definitely are implementing it further and further because the more that they consume your content, the more that they build trust. And then also as well, this is an add-on in what we do for clients to be able to get faster results. So say if you're working with 0 followers and you're trying to get more followers and starting from square zero and you want to be able to get results quickly, we also do engagement ads. It's very low cost for utilizing engagement ads. It's basically where we set something up where either they follow you or we just make the engagement ad targeting the individuals of who we want, and we help within getting that lead magnet to be triggered. All right, so these are basically how we're going to make it, and then we just show them the proof. We show them, hey, we've done this. Hey, here's the breakdown. Here's what we did for a client, and you're just nurturing them and just building that relationship whenever it comes to it all. So this is the cycle of how everything is implemented, and like simple is always better when it comes to this. And there's always areas where complexity can always be the ruler of all killers, but I'm telling you, this is very simple and it's very doable. You know, this is something that can literally be implemented in just a week. It's just more of having to take the time to saying, okay, here's where I'm going to build off, and having that checklist of being like, all right, we're going to build the ManyChat, then we're going to do the CRM and so forth. But this is everything when it comes to the client system and all of the implementations that you need to then be able to reach 7 figures a month in your business. Like, I don't know how, like, it's just, this is so exciting for me because it's exactly in how it like tremendously scaled my business, and it does it time and time again. And this is the whole difference of this all. Now, I showed you guys the entire framework. This is what works, but knowing the framework and actually implementing it is 2 different things. And like I said in the beginning, I was like, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but the ones who win are quick to take action. And so here's the thing. Most individuals are just going to watch this and then, okay, yeah, I'll take some time and like I'll do it later and then push it off. Love you guys. See ya. Have a great weekend. Please try to do all the implementations for what you got from these modules. Please put it into action. And then, of course, you know, for the ones who have already joined, then message me and I will be able to help you right away. All right.
And that is the end of the 3-day masterclass. You freaking crushed it. We did the 3 important components, the offer, the content, and the system to make it irresistible that you're generating those leads. Now, I am truthfully serious with you. Knowledge is only important unless it's executed. So if you want to be able to have the accountability, then join our academy. But if you want our team to be able to do it for you, where we get this launch and going in less than 14 days, then book a call and we can be able to completely handle it for you. We eat, sleep, and breathe marketing, and we're always up to date for anything that is evolving and changing. So make sure to like and subscribe for further updates to staying on top of your marketing efforts in the online space. I'll see you guys in another video.